Hi, this is Chef Paul and welcome back to Wine Basics. Today I'm going to be talking about different styles. We call them varietals. Basically a varietal is just the grape. And we're going to talk about different styles and varietals of wine. You've heard of most of them, Chardonnay, and this is a Stag's Leap, a wonderful Chardonnay. And if you look back into history to 1975 and how the California wines made their appearance in France at a very prestigious judged show and really wiped the floor, so to say. And Stag's Leap was one of those wines there in 75. We've got, and this is a California Chardonnay, we've got Cabernet Sauvignon, which is the grape. Cabernet Sauvignon is the grape. And this is also a California Cabernet Sauvignon. And remember, if it says it on the label here in the United States, it has to be primarily that grape, 75% that grape. We've got a Pinot Gris, Pinot Gris or Pinot Grigio. You'll hear it different ways depending on where it's produced. This is also a United States. This is from Oregon, and you'll notice it has a screw top on top. So this is a white wine. Another red from Washington State, Merlot. Merlot is also a grape. It's a varietal, okay? So when you're looking at wines, most of the wines you're going to see the name of the grape on the bottle, okay? The difference comes when we start looking at things like this. This is an Italian, Ruffino. It is a Chianti Classico. And Chianti Classico is really going to be a blend of different kinds of grapes, okay? So we need to understand when we're buying wines, depending on where the wine is produced and what style the wine is, that's going to tell us what kind of grapes are in it. If we look at labels from France, the label doesn't tell us anything about the grape. The label in France tells us the location, okay? So it's really important to understand that if you want to understand wine, you've got to understand the labels. And when we're reading labels, we've got to understand all the information that's on it. The Velvet Devil, Merlot as the primary grape, 2014 as the vintage, and vintage is simply the year that wine was produced, and Washington State. Now, here in the United States, we have something called AVAs, American Viticultural Areas. AVA is the area that the grape is grown in. Okay, so this one just says Washington State. Now on the back, it may give an actual smaller area, a region where the grape is from. Something like this. Korea Stag's Leap is from Napa Valley, and Napa Valley is arguably the most important AVA in the United States. But within Napa Valley, there are many smaller areas. It'd be like thinking if Bay County was an AVA, you have within Bay County smaller areas like Springfield, Tyndall, Lynn Haven, or the beaches. Each one of these areas could be a smaller region within that larger region, and typically speaking, as a general rule of thumb, the smaller the region the grapes come from, typically the more concentrated flavor of that region you're going to get, not like a blend of all other grapes. So we're going to talk about wine labels and styles, and hopefully you're going to be able to pick out something and start from there. So where we're going to start today is we've got a bunch of glasses lined out in front of us. I'm going to move these bottles away and figure out, what do we do? Well, glasses are an important part of wine service. In the restaurant when you go, you might have glasses lined up for you already. And usually you're going to see a red furthest away from you, a white, and if you notice the difference, the white is a little more slender, a little taller. You might have an all-purpose glass or a water glass next to it. Usually better restaurants and places maybe that have the wherewithal to do them are going to provide different glasses for different styles of wine. You might find that a restaurant simply puts out one glass, and that one glass is used for all of their wine service, and that's fine. You might even notice on the glass sometimes an etched star or a label. Basically, those are to tell the waiter where to pour the wine up to get an actual even pour. It's important. There is no quality without consistency. So we want to be sure we're being consistent every time. Consistency is an issue with wine also. If you fall in love with this 2015, a very young Stag's Leap, and you drank all that you bought and you go to buy it at the store again and all they've got is 2016, there's no guarantee it's going to taste the same. Every year things change. So you want to find wine styles that you like. Within that style there may be changes, little bits of changes. This Chardonnay I happen to know is you'll hear people talk about a big fat buttery Chardonnay. That's this one here. Lots of oak because it's aged in oak and it takes on all those flavors and characteristics of the wood. Different wine styles are going to have a different basic flavor. And from that basic flavor, you'll have little bits of changes here and there. But you can typically count on a basic flavor profile from a Chardonnay, oaked versus unoaked, to a Merlot, or a Riesling, or a Pinot Gris. So understanding styles of wine is critical. And hopefully as we continue in this process, you're going to be able to find some styles of wine that you like. And you'll be able to start to build maybe your own little cellar of wines that you can keep on hand or at least know what to order when you go out. In our next video, we're going to talk about pairing wines with food and talk about what might be good with each of these. So this is Chef Paul saying, welcome to Wine Basics. I hope to see you again soon.